So, hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Secrets of the Viz. Today, I have a special guest with me, Shreya, who is a rising star in the Tableau community with awesome vizzes. So, over to you, Shreya, to do a short intro.
Yeah, of course. So, hi everyone, I'm Shreya. I'm a Tableau consultant at the Information Lab, and I really enjoy making creative visualizations, kind of combining data viz with my own personal hobbies, which is anything artistic or art based. I've been at the Information Lab for almost 2 years now, and it's been such an amazing journey right from the very beginning. And I'm so grateful to be working alongside so many incredible minds. I'm sure you've heard of.
That sounds really cool. So, today we're going to talk about your Dreamcatcher Viz, which is your entire Tableau journey in 2 years. And it's really a very interesting and beautifully designed visualization. How did that whole idea come about?
I personally just really love dream catchers. I have around four in my room. I think if I bend down slightly, you can see like the shadow of one hanging from my light. All of my dream catchers look completely different. So right from the very beginning, I knew I wanted to create a visualization about dream catchers, but I just didn't know what data set to visualize. One I was thinking about doing was visualizing my dream journal, recording all of my dreams within a month, because I thought that would align really nicely with the theme. Then I started thinking about it more, and I realized that I could get very personal very quickly because I feel like dreams definitely reflect your subconscious mind and the things going on around you. And I just wasn't very comfortable sharing some of my fears or what's going on in my personal life publicly. So
It takes a lot of
um,
courage to share something personal, and I think data collection will probably be a problem as well.
yeah, because you'd have to like write down your dreams as soon as you woke up.
Yeah,
Um,
and sometimes like the dream just fades away from your memory the moment you wake up.
It really does. Although I noticed, like, when I was recording my dreams like a year back, I still remember all of my dreams that I wrote down. I think writing down your dreams actually helps the dream recall process.
That's interesting.
Um,
Is there one dream that kind of stood up to you?
oh, I think just before leaving university, I had this really strange dream about snakes. And I understand why I had it after like looking up the symbolism. It's because there was a lot of uncertainty about what I was going to do next, and it was a time of big change. And I think the fear kind of came into my dreams in the form of snakes because snakes can represent fears. So I found that one quite interesting.
My dreams are usually either being chased by a dinosaur or falling through a skyscraper or something.
Oh, wow. Do you know what was happening around those times? Like, were
I
they
I honestly can't
something?
remember. I had that when I was young. It's probably a combination of a couple of things because, like I said, dreams is a reflection of our subconscious.
Oh, wow. I feel like you always remember the scarier dreams more than like the
Exactly.
positive ones. Right? Basically, I had idea during the middle of a workday. I quickly scribbled down my rough idea onto Figma, and this looks very messy, but that's because I just needed to get my ideas out before I resumed with my regular dashboarding so I could revisit this. What I had imagined, I drew out a rough circle and I literally wrote in the biggest text around the circle are years and months, the feathers are years, total months, and added like little shapes to plot the idea. So I knew it needed to be a timeline, plotting my data viz journey, because that's something that can be a reflection of myself and the things I love. So that's how we kind of got the idea of the Dreamcatcher.
That's interesting. So from here on, how did this progress as you kind of started to flesh out more of the ideas and data collection?
Mm. So the first thing I actually did was generate the radial data set and kind of see if I could get the months plotted correctly and how that would look. I'm currently working on a template so people can recreate the same original data sets. This will be hopefully released soon. But essentially, you can enter your start dates and your end dates, so which time period you want to have individual points for, and it will generate a data set for you. So one of my favorite vizzes whenever I'm creating like a radial is a viz by James Boggs. It shows you how to create radials and which calculations you would need. And he's even given some great examples of radial styles. So calculating radials, some people can find it really tricky to do, especially if you're a beginner and you're just getting familiar with data viz. But I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to create a template, so people can literally just enter in the start and end dates and hopefully visualize their journey. Another thing I had to collect for this viz was my own personal data. I created a data set that contains all of the achievements and events in my life that I wanted to record on my viz. When people hover over, they can hear from my own words what happened during that time or what that meant to me. It also includes a type, so whether it was a role, event, a TUG, and this is how I could kind of give them custom beads on my Dreamcatcher. I also included an image URL, so I could encode that into the tooltip. When people hover over, they can actually connect with the moments themselves instead of just reading a piece of text. It adds to the storytelling, but it was also personal for me because when I hover over a point, I want to see what happened during that time and what I did. So it kind of has a twofold benefits.
I think your template would be really useful for folks in the community to create their own Dreamcatcher viz because, like you said, radial is not something that is easily understood, especially if you're new. It can get a little bit daunting. And funny thing, the viz that you showed from James Fox was also the same viz that I used when I was learning radial charts as well.
Oh, no way.
So I was like,
such a great
this looks so
start.
familiar. So in terms of the design, I also realized that you used a lot of map layers and you use it really interesting ways because you have the center piece where you have the little diamond and you also have a circular gradient that sits behind the Dreamcatcher, which I thought was a very interesting way of using map layers. All these little details that you put in really make the viz look exceptionally good. And I'll say it again, I think like you have a really good chance of nailing the favorite piece of the year at the viz this year. So having said that, are you coming to TC?
I would love to go. I'm hoping to try this year. We will see. I'll leave it as a surprise.
Yes. Yeah, it'll be great to meet you over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's so many people I want to meet in person, including you. I feel like it's just a different experience to be able to meet people in person.
It is.
So
I remember the first time I went 2 years back, I just went around and said, can I take a selfie with you? Can I take a selfie with you? It was really funny and it was awkward at first, but I think over time people got into the groove of it and everyone was just taking photos with one another and stuff like that. Like it's a great way to break the ice as well. And
I actually like that. I think that's a great idea.
You can try it
And
this year.
I think I'm gonna try. I think that would be really cool.
So I think we have everything we need from your viz today. Thank you, Shreya, for sharing the amazing process behind how you actually came about the Dreamcatcher viz. I'm really excited for you to release that template so that more folks can try out building their own Dreamcatcher viz. Thank you again, and we'll see everyone next week.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Okay. So, what's up on your plate next, other than the really awesome template that you're going to put out for the community?
I'm also experimenting with a few other data visualization tools, such as D3, and just seeing how my creativity can translate to that as well. It's very different to Tableau, but it's fun experimenting with different ideas and seeing how you can bring them to life.
How are you finding D3? I dabbled with it a little bit during my studies, and it's really hard.
It's so difficult. I'm still trying to learn and take some baby steps. One thing I've been working on is recreating my cherry blossom viz in D3 and playing around with some of the interactive functionalities. So a little spoiler, I've made the flowers kind of like pulse and rotate slightly. And it's my favorite thing in the world. I know it's like very basic animations at this point. And I feel with D3, the potential is limitless. You can create anything that comes to your mind. But I think it's easy to start with the project that you're familiar with, especially when you're trying out a new data visualization tool.
My favorite form of data stories is storytelling. So it's like when you kind of have like a long form visualization that you kind of scroll through and then little bits of the information just pops out or pops out and you focus and unfocus. Those are the visualizations that I truly, truly love. But in order to do that, yeah, it looks really cool. You really need to use like D3 or React or whatnot. And you can't really do that in Tableau, unfortunately. Yeah, I've thought about picking up D3 again to kind of revisit that idea, but I need to find time to do it.
No, I completely get you. I'm trying to find even an hour every week or weekend. With D3, projects are very time consuming, especially when you're starting out, because you're still trying to understand the logic and trying to manipulate the code so it does exactly what you want it to do.
And I think because it's kind of like a text-based software, you can't really start and stop halfway through.
I've made that mistake. Yeah, it's so different. I've been trying to add comments to every single line so I know what every single line is doing. It feels kind of like micromanaging the code, but sometimes you just need it to land.
Exactly.